welcome all of you. I wish you are all safe, at home, happy and positive. Today's deliberation is on business management, in particular family business management. So before going into the topic, let's have a small feel. Please close your eyes. Okay? Now think of your father and mother and mother of your father and mother of your mother. Then their parents. Now it is difficult for you. Please open your eyes. So this is what the three generations. Some of you might be thinking of the Mendelian law. In 1866, Mendel had brought into formalization the law of inheritance, which contains the law of segregation, law of dominance, and law of independent assortment. The genes are transferred from three generations to make us living the Siamese twins. The twins are not equal. Their qualities become different. The physical, mental, the effects which are there, they become different. None of us, they are identical. Each one is unique. So, if you come to our rituals, particularly at the time of the death anniversary, we have to utter, we have to imagine, think of three generations. It is a practice of thousands and thousands of years in our culture. So, with that background, we will proceed. Coming to family business management, I will scissorize. There are three words: family, business, management, being together, family business management. We will first come to the term management. A simple definition of management becomes what the managers do. That is management. That we can focus in different types of business organizations, that will come later, but first we will concentrate on the term management. What you have to do? The word management, 10 alphabets are there. You can choose any combination and write all those words. You can say this word blocking. And try to find out and test yourself how many words you are able to pluck from those 10 alphabet MANAGEMENT within a minute. You can spread it also 2 minutes, 3 minutes and test yourself. So the basic word which may get you like man, men, management, magnet, such type of things will be there. So just observe. My words, give a look. It is made in a minute. If we say management, what is that? A very simple example will be there. What managers do, that is management. And managers differ from one another. Managers can be non-family managers, family managers, particularly for our context. We'll go to that sometime after. But next is business. In many interviews, you may face a question. You are a student of commerce. You have studied 5 years, 7 years. What is commerce? It is from my experience, I tell you. Many students, they fumble. And sometimes they couldn't distinguish between what is business and what is commerce. So to make you aware about that, within a very short span, let me tell you, what is it? Business is divided into industry and commerce. Industries are primary industries and secondary industries. Primary industries are those industries where nature plays more important role. In secondary industries, man plays the more important role. Primary industries could be genetic industries and extractive industries. Genetic like agriculture, fishery, fish culture. But fishing becomes an extractive industry. Mining becomes an extractive industry. They are given by nature. But when you come to extractive, the other part, that is the secondary industries, there might be manufacturing industries and constructive industries. In manufacturing industries, the raw material is processed to finished products. In constructive industries, we develop social good. Dams are made, roads are made, buildings are made. That is constructive industries. So that is industry. Then coming to commerce. Commerce has got two parts. One is trade. Second is the facilitators or aids to trade. So trade can be internal and external. If we go for internal trade, we will have wholesalers, retailers who could make a channel to bring the products from the place of production to the place of consumption. Wholesalers will be there, retailers will be there. Then external trade, we have import, export, or the third one, re-export or intraport, where import is made for the purpose of export. Then we'll go for the facilitators of trade, the aids to trade. There are many activities which facilitate trade. Banking, insurance, warehousing, transportation, all these things, they facilitate. They lift up all the hurdles which are there for trading. They support it. So, you can well answer the question, what is commerce, what is business, what is industry. You can distinguish and you have a smooth sell in your interview if this question comes. Going ahead. Now I'll come to family. Go through this words block. The word is management, 10 alphabets, and in 60 seconds, that is 1 minute, 24 words could be written. Similarly, you can choose words and try. You can go ahead also, make it for 2 minutes or 3 minutes. Then it will be an interesting exercise. When you think of family business, there is a legacy. It goes on and on. But as you know, time passes on. In each step, we find, we notice, we explore different possibilities. One moment, one day is different from the other. But if you will see the global scenario, the family businesses still prosper. They are at high excellence. They are going on. So from family to farms, the connectivity that is there. But what is the greatest hurdle before we come to the pros, the positives? What is the greatest hurdle? The challenge which is taken up that can be termed as the family shock. Succession planning. Who will be the successor? So suppose there are 3 sons. Who will be the right successor? Who can carry the legacy? So that is what difficult. So there are 2 things we can find out. One is the succession, second is the governance. Taking into consideration the people who will take from the external sources, they will have to execute our plans. The board of directors, where the hold is with the family members, what they do, they make the decision making. They have in their grip the decision making, and it goes on. So the flow which goes from generation to generations, there is a formula, there is one uniqueness which makes it different from others. And the circle of decision making is small, and whatever they like to do, if they are convinced, if they feel that this is soothing to our organization, they do it. They go ahead. Talking in this connection, the family management, the elders, they try to inculcate their behavior, their attitude, their aptitude to take them up to a higher altitude. So that is inculcated with the successors of the family, with the children. So how the composition changes? The composition changes by birth, by adoption, by marriage. You can say the BAM factor. The sons and daughters will come. They will have the inheritance. But in some places, there will be adoption. Then, in marriage, somebody from some other culture, some other line of, will be integrated. So that is a challenge which is to be taken up, which is to be nurtured. Nurturing a family business is nurturing a big tree. That's like that. Suppose you are interested to have mangoes, very good mangoes after 15 years. So you have to nurture the plant in such a way that after 15 years, it will bear the good mangoes you like. Similarly, when a particular business objective is to be accomplished, that is to be groomed, that is to be nurtured properly, so that after years we will get the fruits. I will give you different examples. In particular, the oldest family business which we can quote, that is one from Japan, a small inn running for 1300 years. 46 generations have carried a legacy of that inn, and still that is existing. People from generation to generations, they are attached to that inn. They have got a solid, a core customer group. that is the Hoshi group, Hoshi Ryokan. That is how that is goes on. Similarly, many organizations in the global level, in the national level, they are existing and going ahead. When you look to the prosperity of family businesses, there are plus points, there are hurdles too. The market has become very competitive. One has to be flexible. One has to read the tune of the market. There are ups and downs. There are business cycles, change in governments, change in the equations of nationalities. Many calamities also come on which we have no compulsion, we have no control. Taking that into view, we have to prepare the road map. We have to consider the roadblocks. The road map is it has to be a progressive one. As you know, we have to survive, we have to grow, we have to be excellent. That is the road map. But on that road, there will be roadblocks. Unseen, unnoticed, unimaginable things happen on the way. They are to be faced with righteous perspective. They are to be treated so that sometimes the threats will be opportunities. The challenges will be opportunities. When the waves come, what we know, we have to bow a little so that we can withstand the wave. If we want to struggle with that wave, it will drag us into the ocean. So that has to be remembered. Similarly, an eagle, when the rain comes, it goes above the clouds so that the raindrops will not touch its feathers. So that is how the different ideas, principles are to be there, not just planning, organizing, staffing, controlling. Those things will not make us in a stereotyped manner treatment of the things. We have to look to the market. We have to look to the break-even, the changing factors which come up. And finally, as the customer is the king, we have to sense the market also and the need of the market is. The process of the marketing, the desire of the customers at large. There is culture shock, there is family shock, shock of the market, shock of the time. We have to face that and go ahead. At this juncture, we can take a note of different type of families and different types of family businesses. Different types of families are extended families. As we know about joint Hindu undivided families, extended. But now what is happening? The nuclear families. Then we'll go for single parent family, childless family, step family, grandparents family. In this way, different families are there. That will lead to controlling or having different types of businesses. Family owned business, family owned and managed and family owned and led company. They will prosper like that. Different family businesses have their different ideologies. With that, they move forward. It came into my mind, taking a micro view and macro view also. In the global scenario, there are many prosperous family businesses. And even in small sector also. If we see the different types of businesses, there will be sole proprietorship, there will be partnership, there will be companies, private and public, there will be cooperatives, there will be joint Hindu divided family businesses. There are different types of business organizations. And the number is very high in case of sole proprietorships. They have their own decision making process, own way of managing things. So, numbers of family businesses, they prosper, they grow. Two questions came to my mind. One is, why family businesses prosper? On the other hand, why many family businesses fail? Looking to 70% of those failures, both the answers was family. Let's go for the first one. How they prosper? Family. F stands for family capital, family assets. That is their own. A. Amenable decision making. At any situation, they can take a decision, and there is a legacy of decision making also in different positions, what has been made. In that way, they can move and face the challenges. Aim for more diversification. Whatever they decide, they go ahead. More diversification is there. I. Incentive to work with very small learning curves. So business is there in the gene of those persons, and from very childhood, even from the mother's womb, they learn how to make business. They go ahead. L. Leverage the existing knowledge to grow and to be excellent. Why? Yearning for success with adapt, adopt and accomplish. So that is there in a family business. And these are the factors which make the family businesses grow. We'll go for the other one. Why many of them fail? That is also the answer is, the acronym we can say, family. A for family conflicts. As I have told you, two things are very important. One is succession planning, second is governance. And as the time is changing, education is changing, situations are changing, environment is changing, so the next generation which is coming, they will accept anything which is there. That is a question mark. So, how to tune the generations to be in the same line which is coming on, which is going in a flow, where flexibility, change management, crisis management, is highly required. And we have seen there is business acumen with our forefathers. They are very good. They were very good at sensing things, doing work, very hardworking, good decision makers. What they have done, many of the people of our generation they cannot do. So the first one comes family conflict. There is a gap between the thinking process of the generation and generations. Then the advisory incompetencies. We take the advice of the persons. Who is the advisor of the father? He may not be appreciated by the son. He may look for other advisors and which may not click. So that becomes a difference of opinions and leads to failures. Then M for molded visions between generations. Visions differ, opinions differ, outlooks differ. How that is to be molded? Who will accommodate? The older generation or the new generation? That is also a factor. The gap which remains make the businesses slide down sometimes. Then when the difference comes, we find the improper succession planning. Here, just cannot one think that the elder one is the best or the younger one is to be given the responsibility. There may be fractions, there may be divisions. Even the daughters are these days, they are more qualified. They are given to be made up with the existing support. So that is to be seen in the mind. Then coming to L, lack of financial education. Finance is the lifeblood of the business. What is there in demand 100 years back, that may not be the demand now. As I was telling you, the small inn which is existing for 1300 years, are they preparing the same food which was there 1000 years back? They are definitely making them trained, developed, changing their menu, adapting to the changes. That adaptability is highly required to exist, to sustain, to survive. Then last one, the yardstick complacency. Suppose we have got a very excellent business track. It doesn't mean we'll be having success always. Go to the level of success or excellency is difficult, but maintaining that excellency is much more difficult, much more challenging. And in that factor, we have got a very typical hurdle, killer, we can say. That's why I say it, yardstick complacency. When you are successful, at that time, there is every possibility that we are giving birth to complacency within us. Complacency is the killer which makes us arrogant, which makes us indecisive, which makes us fall into the clutches of procrastination. And the time which is gone, that will never return. If you cannot study the air, and we are go on driving or working itself, there is every possibility we may be drenched. So we have to sense the time. We have to listen the call of the time. Then only we can go ahead and achieve success. And family businesses which look to these things, they prosper. Otherwise, 70% of the failures, they lose their hopes, they become sick, they go out of track of the excellency for this reason. So we can remember very well, we can prosper with the acronym family, we can slide down, be demolished, we can go into the below break-even point, that is also family. From our village corner to the global platform, we could locate, spot various family businesses. Going to the global level, Walmart, by the Walt family, one of the greatest family businesses of the world. We have Volkswagen, Sinopec, Berkshire Hathaway, Nike, Royal Dutch Shell, Ford Motors, so many things. If you go through their life sketches, so many experiences they come, how they are different. I'll tell you one. Once Ford was called on by the Queen of England to be the guest in a feast. He agreed, came. Everybody was desiring to see in which vehicle Ford is going to come and from where he will get down. But he came with a hired car. And when he was asked, "You came in this?" "Ah, yes. I have my applications to have a car that is in line yet to be considered. My turn has not come." See the uniqueness. Now coming to our country, as I have told you, we see small businesses with very nice techniques of them, of entrepreneurship. They carry on. But very big businesses are there in Indian platform also. Aditya Birla, TVS, Kirloskar, Bajaj, Godrej, Imami, Eicher, Symphony, HCL, Marico, Hero. You must be missing. Thinking of why I am not telling the greatest one, that is Tata. Yes. Before independence, they started, they existed, and they prospered. And there is a Tata culture. I am a Tata man, they say. To quote an anecdote, J.R.D. Tata goes out to the office at the time when the school bell is about to ring of closure of the gate. He starts. Some students, they are in running mode to reach the school. Tata is sure that before the closure of the gate, these little students, their little legs cannot run in that speed to reach the gate. the big car that stops. He tries to get in all the students. When there are more students, he himself sits in the driver's seat and all the students are there in the car. The driver has to come by walk to the school. When Tata's car reaches the school gate, you can think of the plight of the gatekeeper. The gate is open. The car enters into the school compound. All the students who are there in the car, they get down and get into their classes. Nobody has the guts to check them to get in. Tata remains. There is exchange of laugh, exchange of pleasure, and then Tata moves out. What do you think? It is benevolence. For Tata, it is an investment. So many incidents are there. This makes the migration in the Tatas at a very low level. The family, they want to remain in that situation, that environment. They don't like to go. So no money can buy a really Tata family. So this is how the family businesses develop their own ways of treating people, treating human beings. If you go through the general ingredients of a leader, traits of a leader, I can give you another acronym, that is Dr. Sumpis. Dr. Sumpis, by enlarging that, D for decisiveness, R for responsibility. This is mine, I have to do. S for self-confidence, sincerity. O stands for objectivity. M for maturity. E, very important, which is the importance of the time, empathy. Then fish. F stands for foresight. I for intelligence. S for sound physics. If the leader is not carrying a good health, how can he or she lead? Then H for human relations approach. Almost all of these we find in the leaders of family owned business, family businesses. When I think of leadership, I could imagine the flying birds, the flying cranes which come from Siberia to Chelika, such a long distance. For generations they come in this way. No not who has discovered this place, this route, but they come. And how they come? They come in a V shape. In the front, the bird which is there is the leader. And the others, gradually, they get trained. So when they fly, the bird in the front creates such buoyancy in the air which makes the other birds to fly easily. And there is a change in place. The second go to the first, third go to the first. When the first bird gets tired, that's how they become trained to carry the legacy of flying to Celica. This is one of the great examples which makes the family businesses thrive. This process goes on. But talking of India, how old is this? Comes to my mind the sloka of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Chaturvarnam maya srustam. The third varna is Vaishyas. Very intelligent, cunning, and they look after the commercialization of the area. The commercial ventures are managed by them. So this is a very old concept, and that goes on not by karma. Karma is a factor, but mostly in the sense of time, it goes with the family owning activity, the family legacy passes on. I remember also, Vardhamanam Swedame, the lines from Yajurveda, develop from your home. So, there is a great prospect for the family businesses. It lies with the interest of the successors. It lies with the caring of the elders to make them shine in future. But I repeat, they are to be groomed like great trees, valuable trees, they are to be nourished. Then only the things will go on. As usual, I will end up with an anecdote. There is a school, and it was the day when the inspector has to visit the school. The inspector reached. The teachers were almost on the touch, and there was a small question, but it was very big for the teachers in particular. The question was, why the color of Rama and Krishna were blue? That was not in the book. Nowhere in the pages of the book, in the courses, that was there. But education doesn't mean to be within the covers of the books, within the milestones of the course. It is beyond, much beyond that. So one of the students, very short-heighted, raised the hand, and the inspector became delighted. At least one person, one child is ready to answer. Then he gave the answer. I look to the sky, it's blue. I look to the ocean, sea, that is blue. So, what I feel, the sky, moon, they are limitless. Sky is limitless. So, the color of the eternity is probably blue. That which is not limited, the color is blue. So Rama and Krishna are the personalities of innumerable potentialities, unimaginable potentialities, and their stretch is very high. It is not bound, unbound potentialities. That's why probably the color is blue. The inspector was very happy, embraced the boy. The boy was nobody. He is Chakravarti Rajgopalachari, the political guru of Mahatma Gandhi. So, I end up with a prayer to the Lord. Sharbe Shantu Niramaya. Let everybody be healthy and crush this movement of crisis. Let love shine in everybody's face. Let the earth be with the pleasure which are there existing. Yes, people. Thank you.